Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. And if you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so, and we shall bring you the latest news as they happen. And together we can work with our great leader, Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and Eastern Security Network, to make our Biafran dream a reality. He said. The World Bank blames Buhari's incompetency and cluelessness, characterized by his addiction for nepotism, as the reason why the Nigerian economy and security has collapsed, and the worst in African history in the last 10 years. Even the Fulani Janjaweed, former Nigerian head of state, ABDULSALAMI Abubakar, weeps as Buhari government plans to further increase the pains and sufferings of Nigerians through their wicked fuel subsidy removal that will hike the fuel pump price, increase cost of food and transportation, which will in turn further increase unemployment, insecurity, and the rampant kidnapping in Nigeria. You know, ABDULSALAMI Abubakar basically is, to the gullible, they will think he's planning or trying to help Nigerians. No, they are not. What they are doing is because they know that Buhari has bastardized the Fulani plans. Now Nigerians no longer trust them. That is why the United Nations warned Nigerian government that winning the war of Boko Haram is not in the battlefield, but in the minds of Nigerians. Because now, everyone in the zoo now knows that the Buhari government flourishes on lies and propagandas and deception. So they are trying to win back the trust, especially the trust of the unity beggars. They are trying to win it back. But Nigerian economy and security has collapsed under Buhari. It has collapsed. For the World Bank to be warning shows that things has gone beyond repairs. And that is why our leader, a man full of wisdom, Nnamdi Kanu, have seen it even before the World Bank is saying it now. Nnamdi Kanu always preaches it on Radio Biafra. And that is why he was fighting, or he's fighting, for Biafran referendum and restoration. Because Biafra cannot sink with the sinking Fulani and the unity beggars. The unity beggars can sink with the Fulanis. The Efulefus can sink with the Fulanis, but not Biafrans. And that is what our leader is trying to let the world know. And yet, the Fulani Janjaweed kidnapped him and extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria and illegally detained him at the criminal DSS facility. But they are losing, and they will lose. This is a Fulani government that disgraced themselves with their abracadabra rice pyramid after the Fulani terrorist foot soldiers have been killing farmers, destroying their farms, and destroying the Fulani agricultural policy, which they are deceiving the whole world. You know, they are deceiving the whole world. Imagine an unserious Fulani Nigerian government who went about the nooks and crannies in Nigeria, mopping, locally produced rice, mopping them, and rebagging the smuggled rice in order to deceive the world. Deceiving the world and the gullibles. Trying to make the world and the gullibles believe that the Fulani Nigerian government and Nigeria is working. Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not working because of the Fulani Janjaweed, cluelessness, and greed. And that is why Biafra has to be free. That is one of the reasons why our leader keep warning us to support Biafran referendum. Before the Fulani Nigerian government came to power in 2015, they lied that there was nothing like fuel subsidy. But when they took over powers, they paid more subsidy than the previous governments all put together. They paid more subsidy. Instead of the Fulani slave governors in Nigeria, especially in the southern Nigeria, instead of them to support Nigerian workers, Nigerians suffering, who wants to protest nationwide on fuel subsidy removal that is causing more hardship to workers. Rather, they are working with the Fulani Nigerian government and Fulani security agencies to stop the nationwide protests. My brothers and my sisters, you can see that the politicians in the zoo, in the south, in Biafra land, cannot help the masses. They can't. They would rather help the Fulani Janjaweed than helping Biafrans, than helping Southerners. According to reports, a report by the World Bank has noted that Nigerian economy under Buhari was worse than what it used to be 10 years ago. The report, which was released on Thursday, said the hike in food prices in the country has amplified the negative impact of increased poverty on economic growth, noting that nearly 110 million people in countries like Nigeria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, and South Sudan had been in situations characterized by food crisis. Imagine comparing Nigeria, categorizing Nigeria with war-torn countries. The findings of the report, which was contained in flagship report for 2022 titled Global Economic Prospect, said the coronavirus pandemic reversed at least a decade of gain in per capita income in some countries. But in the case of Nigeria, under Buhari leadership, the poverty level meant the economy had performed woefully. The report also noted that disruption to the supply chain or armed conflict by the Fulani terrorists, bandits, and killer herdsmen contributed to the surge in food prices, leaving vulnerable groups suffering the most. Biafrans and Southerners were banning open grazing, but the Fulani governors and Buhari presidency were fighting against them, insisting on open grazing, knowing fully well that the main reason why Nigeria is having insecurity is because of open grazing, which have resulted to destruction of farms and killing farmers and ethnic cleansing, which resulted in food price hike because the Fulani killer herdsmen terrorism is causing all this problem. Further rise in food prices will squeeze household purchasing power and erode consumer confidence, causing more subdued growth and hindering poverty reduction. Buhari is planning to increase fuel pump price that will also have adverse effect on food supply. This is not the first time the World Bank had criticized Buhari's fiscal policy, specifically noting the negative effect of Nigerian central bank exchange rate policies on investment and fuel inflation. The World Bank has warned that the incompetence of Buhari's government in addressing insecurity that has worsened and had harsh economy situation will fuel national unrest because Nigerians and Biafrans have been pushed to the wall and they will fight back. Imagine the Nigerian army controlled by the Fulani Janjaweed looked the other way while helpless villagers in north, especially the northern Christian communities, were sent to their early graves by the Fulani terrorists. If these northern Christians in their villages had fought back, the Nigerian army would have attacked them. Referendum is the solution, not elections. What war cannot solve, dialogue can solve. That is what some Fulani Janjaweed are now singing. Without security, you cannot develop. You cannot even worship God. That is what the Sultan of Sokoto and the rest Fulani Janjaweed that are trying to be deceptive are saying. One of the worst things you can do is to create huge additional anger around the living cost, the cost of fuel, cost of prices, pushing the citizen into more depression, and you want to have election just a few months after. As I said earlier, referendum, not election, is the solution. The Nigerian former head of state, General ABDULSALAMI Abubakar retired, had warned that the soaring hardship in Nigeria might result into another nationwide conflagration worse than the 2020 EndSARS protest against police brutality. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video, and bye-bye for now.